shut down a party. I can hang with anybody. I can drink whiskey and red wine, champagne all night, little scotch on the rocks, and I'm fine, I'm fine. But when I taste tequila, baby, I still see you cutting up the floor in a sorority t-shirt, the same one you wore when we were sky high in Colorado. Your lips pressed against the bottle, smelling on a Bible, baby, I'd never leave it. I remember how bad I need you when I taste tequila. When I taste tequila. When I taste tequila. When I taste tequila. Somebody brand new, and not even think about you. I can show up to the same bar, hear the same songs in my car. Baby, your memory, it only hits me this hard. When I taste tequila, baby, I still see you cutting up the floor in a sorority t-shirt, the same one you wore when we were sky high in Colorado. Your lips pressed against the bottle, smelling on a Bible, baby, I'd never leave you. I remember how bad I need you when I taste tequila. When I taste tequila. When I taste tequila. When I taste tequila.
You know we rarely get nights like these, and we don't feel bad cause it's good for the soul. So forget all the responsibilities, cause I got you, you got me. Yeah, that promise we made way back in the days to hold on to the night. I remember we said we would never regret staying up when we get high. When it feels this good, you gotta stay for a minute. Hold on and get lost in it. When it feels this good, you gotta stay for a minute. Hold on, hold on. When it feels this good, when it feels this good, when it feels this good, so good. When it feels this good, when it feels this good, when it feels this good, so good. When it feels this good. It's been a long time since I saw your face. I forgot just how good it feels when we're free. And you know they said we grow out this phase, but not you, not me. Yeah, that promise we made way back in the days to hold on to the night. I remember we said we would never regret staying up when we get high. When it feels this good, you gotta stay for a minute. Hold on and get lost in it. When it feels this good, you gotta stay for a minute. Hold on, hold on. When it feels this good.
You know that it feels this good. Pull up on me anytime in the woods. Baby got me feeling like sure. My baby got me falling in love. He gon' do whatever I want, just like an icon. Looking like I own a python. I'm not the one you can slide on. I'm getting money while you're trying to sign on. Ain't nothing funny when my loving ain't cheap. Hop out the Benz and I hop in the Jeep. 100 degrees but my Bristol on free.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome. We are so stoked to be here with you today.
Oh my God, the camera's coming on.
Yes, please turn your cameras on. Let us see you in all of your glory. I mean, you don't have to, but we would love to see you. Yes.
Yeah,
We're going to be making our drinks here with you all. We haven't made them yet. We thought we would wait until we started today. But if you've got your drink, get it. Enjoy. We're going to get into it. But obviously first, we want to say hello. Hi.
guys, Tequila Talks is here.
So great. Who's pumped? I'm fucking
Who's
stoked.
pumped? You guys, this has been like, we chatted about this. I don't even know how long ago. We were like, wouldn't it be fucking so crazy to do something called Tequila Talks? And we were like, yep, sure would be. So we should see the setup. We're going to tip the computer down just so you can see the carnage.
Okay.
We are like, are you ready for this?
See, can you see this? Can you see this?
Okay, so we have candle, makeshift mixer, because we forgot we didn't have one. So, you know, we all have to start somewhere. Water, triple sec, organic lime juice, unhinged titty Vancouver tequila shot glasses. Brand new bottle of Don Julio 70. Whoop, whoop. From our sponsor. We have some fresh limes ready. Some
our
sea
salt.
salts.
And ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we got a fire.
Yep. And obviously our wonderful selves.
Oh,
And you know what you forgot? The bowl of ice that's sitting by the fire.
so we realized we did not have any ice to make our cocktails at 2:52 p.m.
Yep.
So we send out our sponsor to go get some ice. And thank you, Cactus Club, for sponsoring the ice.
So good. It's very convenient. There's a restaurant just around the corner. So it's very, very grateful.
Yes.
All right. Well, should we get into it?
Yeah, I want everyone to say hi though. Where are you coming from?
Yeah,
Where are you from? What are you doing? Are you drinking tequila with us, or are you drinking like
A mocktail.
mocktail? You got some hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. Do you have a green juice and tequila? I mean, that's my favorite when I do like a green juice, tequila, water, coffee. That would be
We
like
need
my
like all of the
all
drinks.
the things.
All
All
of
the
the
things.
drinks.
And we just want to remind you on Tequila Talks, we will be drinking tequila, and the reason we're making our drinks is so that you know it's legit. So you know we're not fucking around and just putting water in there and being like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're drinking tequila.
Yeah, sure, tequila. So we are doing it in the way that you can watch us. You can watch us make our margaritas, which is going to be a fucking gong show trying to get this while we're talking and trying to do shit. So the whole idea of this is to shoot tequila. So Kelsey and I will be taking a shot of tequila, which you get to watch. And then we are going to be making margaritas and riffing, having some interaction with you. And then we're going to riff on a specific topic. So today is Tuah girl versus Taylor Swift. So
yeah, we're going to be talking about power and like how important it is to be very mindful of the people that you have around you. And when there is controversy, the ways to deal with that and the ways not to deal with that. But we can't get into a conversation like that sober. So
yeah, we got to really go a little off the rails. We need a little bit of, I mean, we have these conversations all the time, but it's more, you know, publicly. We've been preparing ourselves for this moment and we also just want to note before anybody gets bent out of shape, we have pre-canceled ourselves. So nobody can cancel us. So if you hate what we're talking about and you're like, they are these fucking out of control. These bitches are out of control. Out of here. We've already taken the liberty of pre-canceling ourselves. So don't worry if you need to shadow project or tell us that, you know, whatever it is. And if you're watching on the replay or you're watching 3 years down the road and you're like, how did those bitches get famous? What is wrong? They're fucked up. Then, you know, this is the memorabilia.
We accept our calling.
We accept calling. Love it. Okay.
See what we've got here.
Bring some Toronto. Woo, woo.
I'm red wine. Okay.
Team red wine. Iowa. Hello, Amanda. I am in Iowa, middle of an ice storm, waiting for tequila delivery.
Yes. Get that tequila, girl.
Does DoorDash do tequila delivery?
They should. They really should.
Yeah. Cold greetings from Minnesota, Tundra. I've got a honey jalapeno. Woo! honey jalapeno margarita.
Steph.
Well, fuck you, Steph.
That sounds amazing.
Outdoing us? Jesus. Fuck.
Steph is going to be our resident margarita maker from here on out.
Shit, we're gonna have to hire you to consult on all this.
I love this.
Okay, Massachusetts, tequila on the rocks. Oh my God, you guys are really fucking stepping up.
Yeah,
to
that's right.
We were like
So
talking about, we were like, if you have a hot chocolate, everyone's like, fuck that shit. We got tequila. We got tequila going on. Now listen, if you're driving or operating heavy machinery,
no drinking.
That includes vibrators and other sorts of things like that. If anyone has machinery going on,
so
we do not condone drinking or driving or anything of that nature.
No, we don't. Washington, sipping on coffee and water.
Yes.
Yep. Ran out of time to grab anything stronger. We getcha. Maybe later tonight.
Love it.
Do a shot in our honor.
Totally. Okay, so while we're riffing and chatting with you, we're just gonna keep the comments rolling. We're gonna get to them in a minute, but probably a lot of USA representing today.
Yeah,
a lot of US. Okay,
which is great because we have a vision for this, and our vision is to do the Tequila Talks tour. And the Tequila Talks tour is when we're all in an auditorium and we're on a stage taking shots of tequila and riffing and doing audience participation, and it feels like America really wants that to happen for us. So
yes,
it's so perfect.
So we have our beautiful Don Julio 70. Now, Don Julio, if you'd like to continue, if you'd like to sponsor us, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we're not upset about it.
We're not upset about that. And we are not going for cheap tequila. We are premium girls, premium bitches. Okay, so
first up is the shot.
Oh God. We're gonna try to make margaritas while having a shot. Okay, you ready?
Well, yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh yeah, you gotta get the salt out.
Oh wow, you guys, this salt is so chunky. Look at this. Can you see that? It's like rocks.
Well, all right. Do a little smasheroni. Just
I'm into it.
Do a little bit of that. Okay, hold on. Don't worry. I'm not even smashing it. I'm just gonna fucking wait.
Well, you gotta pour the tequila first.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. Ladies, we're getting stressed. Maybe ladies and gentlemen, we'll see what's up. Okay, shot number 1 into the tool. A little over the top. Okay.
Okay, you want me to pull
shot number 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job. All right. Did you already lick your salt?
No, I just licked my finger and put it in the salt. Oops. Okay. Ready?
Here we go.
Everybody,
Talks.
cheers.
1, 2,
you ready?
Tequila
Are we doing salt first?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Line. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fuck. That is fresh.
Spicy
and fresh. I'll put some fucking hair on your chest. Okay. Not that we want that. Okay. So, I mean, if you're into that, cool. We got there's all inclusivity here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woo. It's gonna get even hotter in here.
Oh God, I'm roasting by fire. Okay, so
we don't have chestnuts. Well, we have chests, but we don't have nuts.
Okay, we can find some male strippers. Okay, so listen, we want to know. We've got some things we have to riff on, but we want to know from you. I want you to type in what would you love for us to riff on today? Like if you could have us riff on anything at all, what would you want us to riff on? So if you have like questions, you have like, there's topics you want us to riff on, or you've got some shit going on, we are going to riff obviously on what we're going to riff on today, the Taylor Swift versus Tuah, or whatever, Tuah. But we have some other shit that we would love to just go on. So, oh, Winston and I are listening. Yay. Oh my God. Hi, Krista.
And thank you, Steph. It's brand new. I got it when I was in Nashville last week or whenever that was. This is literally my favorite color, and crushed velvet is my jam.
Such a vibe.
There's also matching shoes. I'm not wearing them right now because we're inside and we couldn't be bothered to put shoes on. So, but there's like a whole vibe to this outfit, and it is very comfortable, very festive. I wish it could be Christmas all year round so that I could wear this.
Yeah. Thank you, Steph, for mentioning my outfit as well. Oh, wait, you didn't. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I love you. I know. Okay, so let's do
ice
margaritas. Okay. Yeah. So tell us while we're doing this, we need you to write in. What would you want us? I hope my hands are clean. Well, what do you want?
If they're not, it's too late.
It's too late. What would you want us to riff on?
Yeah.
Let us know. What would you want? What do you want us to riff on?
Messy.
It's getting messy.
Just watch that knife.
What everyone wants
Christine,
to hear.
how did you end up in the ER? Well,
Tequila Talks.
Tequila Talks.
Live recording podcast. So you want to see, what do you want us to riff on? If you had your choice, it could be dating, sex, relationships, just whatever, money, power. Well, we're going to be talking about power today. Okay, so, you win.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we have said,
Are we going to use
makeshift
these
mixer.
again? I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, can you see how great these are?
It's a Vancouver with titties.
Vancouver with titties.
I know.
Like, as if this is not the best thing ever.
Best thing ever. Okay.
Okay.
So
one, how many shots go in a margarita?
does anybody know?
Anybody know?
Can anyone give us the ingredients to margaritas? 4. Oh, fuck.
Really? For 2 of us?
I feel like, actually, you know what? You might be right. Well, we have triple sec as well.
Yeah, so maybe
There's
2
2.
shots and a triple set.
And then a whisper top up of shot on top. Okay.
You gotta also put some lime in there.
Lime. Okay.
We are clearly mixologists.
Clearly the best.
Bobby.
If I really want some jalapenos. Okay.
Do we do one full shot of this?
Sure.
Okay.
I will not be ashamed. I think I'm the only one who needs the definition of hot too. Needs the definition of hot too.
Oh yeah, you want to know? Okay. So when you're given a blowjob.
Wait, hold on. Well, this is a TikTok. This chick went viral on TikTok. Correct?
Yes. So I can't remember the exact interview, but she was like, it's one of those interviews that people are getting interviewed outside of a bar, they're wasted. And it was like, how to keep your man. And she's like, just spit on it, give it a little Tuah. And she became like viral for this.
Talking about blowjobs.
Blowjobs, obviously. That's how you keep your man. And the internet, it's not wrong.
Keep going.
Not like she wasn't offside. It was just the nature of how like she shot to fame from that and became a viral sensation. And then like this whole brand got born from talk to it. Don't worry. I'll try.
My hands are kind of wet. Like,
there
we go. Okay.
Yeah. Christine did a little hot Tuah on her hands before she started.
I know, I did.
How much do we put in? A shot?
Just fucking keep rolling it in there.
Oh, look at that. Oh wait.
Is it coming out? Oh God. Okay, so let's see.
Don't worry. This will take the entire time.
Totally, we'll have one margarita made by the end of this. Okay, so I'd love to hear about y'all's friendship origin story and how your business partnership came about. It's giving friendship goals to the highest. Hashtag friendship goals to the highest possible order. Yes.
Love to.
Love to.
Nothing we love talking about more than ourselves.
So we met, oh my God, we met through like I feel like through the personal development industry.
Yeah, I did a TED Talk on the gifts of infidelity.
That is a perfect example of how we feel about that now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are elements of that, that were very true and continue to be true. But Christine and I were going through something oh, look, we can strain it, squirt it. Squirt it in.
Okay, well, no, I think we need, I think we need more lime juice.
You think?
100%. Okay, this is like a fucking baby fucking dick margarita. Okay, so we're just gonna keep on going.
Oh, okay. So I did this TED Talk. Christine, I think you were at the TED Talk.
No, I watched it. I was going through.
It?
I had been cheated on, and so I was like trying to find any grasp of hope to be like, I can still make it through this, and we can still get through this.
Yeah, and your person was working with my person. It was a whole web. This was like the universe like conspiring for the two of us to meet. Like we are living parallel lives, both getting cheated on by our partners. Our partners work with each other. Wild. And so we met each other then. And then you
invited me to do a meditation in one of your like.
Oh, that's right. But that wasn't until 2020. And I found there was another thing that we like, is it strong?
It's just terrible. Okay. Keep telling the story. We need sugar. We need something sweet in here.
Oh yeah, that's simple syrup. That's right. Okay, I'll continue.
You keep talking.
You keep talking. So we kind of just orbited each other. And like we share a social circle here. And so there were a couple friends that we had in common. And a few years after that talk, so that was in 2014 that I did that talk. And I think it was like a year or so later, there was another event that we did. Christine, do you remember this? We both spoke at RYU.
Oh my God, I totally remember that.
Yeah, and it was this panel talk. And so we were both on the panel. And I think that was like 2017, maybe. And so we kind of came back together through that event. And I think that's when we went on our first date after, actually.
How do you feel if I add some of this in?
Oh, no. Sure.
I mean, there's no sweetness that was back there.
Is there any honey or any sugar?
No.
Well, we're going to make do, friends.
We're going to add some chili, mango, lime, margarita mix.
Olé.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Olé, if you'd also like to sponsor us, that'd be wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, so we did that panel talk together, and then we had a date where we went for coffee. And it was like a 4-hour date, I think, maybe longer.
Totally interviewed. Kelsey just fucking hardcore grilled me, interviewed me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this chick is fucking scary.
I had my notebook
Terrifying.
And I was like, we need to make sure that I can actually spend time with this person. I'm very particular about who comes in and out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she was getting the third degree.
Oh yeah, I was fucking terrified. I was like, interrogation central.
That's not what happened at all. We were like in the vortex with each other and sharing our stories, and there were so many parallels of her story, my story, how we'd come to the same conclusions and same realizations. And then we continued to orbit each other for a little while longer. And yeah, it was in 2020 when we might just have to suck it up and drink. The first time is going to be a little rough.
Terrible. It's fucking
terrible.
terrible.
And I feel like that's like the case for a lot of things in life. Like the first time it might be a little rough.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's fucking,
you'll get there.
Absolutely fucking horrendous. I'm going to need a lot of more tequila and a lot of more Olé.
Okay. Well, we can make these wishes come true.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in 2020, obviously the pandemic happened, and I was doing this Sunday service called the Self-Love Sunday Service. And I was calling up all the people in my network to lead meditations or do breath work. And so Christine came and did a meditation on one of those. And then the pandemic like really got into full swing, and our group decided we were going to create a coven. So we did that. And we had a group of 13 women came together to create this little magical coven, and Christine was in that. And then we've literally been friends ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been glorious.
And we were actually at the Club Unhinged was born, so we were good friends. We were like, had very similar parallel lives, like experienced a lot of the same shit, a lot of the same like relational, and it was terrible, right?
It's just tart.
It's, well, yeah, so that's being kind. So a lot of the same circle of friends, a lot of the same very similar stories. And then we just built a friendship slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were, I don't know, I had 40 this year, and I was like going through some crazy fucking portal and divorce and all the things. And one day I was walking up a hike, and she was like, "How are you today?" We're on the phone, and I'm like, "I am so fucking unhinged right now." And she's like, she just died. She fucking lost it. And she's like, "That is the best." And then we were at our good friend Mark Grove's place for his son's first birthday party. Seems like a natural place to hatch a unhinged business. And we were chatting there with a bunch of people, and we were like, personal development is so fucking boring. We're so bored of spirituality.
So done with it. Personal
development. It's the same fucking bullshit being regurgitated over and over and over again. And we just were like, what if we, you might get a little bent out of shape, but just bear with me. We said, this is like over a year ago. We said, what if we made personal development great again? Like that, what if that was our mission, to just like again, we're not American. We're just saying, like, what if we made personal development great again? What if we allowed it to, like, what if we could have fun with it? What if it didn't have to be so serious? What if it didn't have to be so heavy and dense? And so, you know, and the idea is like tequila is holy, so is meditating, and so is pole plunging, and so are all these other things. So we just want to even it out, take personal development out of the shadows, and just have a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be so like heavy and serious all the time. And I think a lot of us, at least on my journey, like there have been those pendulum swings where I got super serious about all of my practices and like really rigid in that. And so I literally just used personal development, you know, as a stand-in for all the other things that I had been using before. And so our mission here with making it fun and great again is for you to find that like middle ground. So it's normal to swing to the extremes when we're on a healing journey, and then we eventually land in the middle ground where we can actually see everything as holy, see everything as an opportunity for growth, and have like a full range human experience. That's really what we're here for. Like we like to drink, and like I am no stranger to doing a good weed walk a couple times a week.
I don't like weed, I'm not into weed, but she loves it.
I love it within bounds, within, you know, a reasonable range. And same with like sex, drugs, alcohol, like all these things that historically get thrown in this very taboo position, but also they can be used as ways to escape reality. So like the work that we do helps people get in right relationship with reality so that they don't need to escape it. They know how to roll with it, move with it. And then we can play with all of these treasures of being alive, like tequila and lime and hard freaking salt and, you know, booby shot glasses and, you know, connecting with everyone around the world. Like it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, so fucking cool. And I think a lot of personal development and spirituality, a lot of it, at least in my experience, was like escaping being human. Like it was like, and that was for me as well. I wanted to, you know, become superhuman and then eject myself from the human experience. And so what we teach is about magic and manifestation and personal development and spirituality and all these pieces, but essentially finding out how good life can get, being human. Like how fucking good are you gonna let it be? And so a lot of you, we see you in the club, but in the club, that's our year-long experience. We teach about love, sex, money, and power. So the 4 sort of major pillars, taboo topics that get people all bent out of shape, in their shame, rolling around. And so we're like, fuck, let's have a bunch of powerful ass, authentic, unhinged, baddie bitches roaming the planet, uncaged, living their best lives, making a fuck ton of money, making a ton of impact on the planet, and like
being well fucked,
well fed,
like well loved,
all the things.
Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. And I think when we first enter into the personal development realm or the spiritual realm, there's almost like this rite of passage where you have to like give up your humanity and like make it wrong. Like, oh, how dare you want to get fucked in the ass, you know, like bad news bears, like, no, you can't like that, you know, or like whatever it is that you like. And then we get to a point in the journey where we're like, yeah, no, I like what I like. I want what I want. I'm going to let myself have it. And I also can live like a very full range and holistic life and be in my power and know that I am capable of creating anything that my heart desires. And like, that's really what we're on a mission to do.
Love it. Okay. Great question.
See, this is where like we will like literally just go off on tangents. Our ADHD gets out of control sometimes, more so when we are drinking. So
speaking of that, we need more tequila in this. Okay. Let's do one more question and then we'll hop in. How do you handle dating, in air quotes, multiple men at once without them knowing specifically about each other? This is the most Unhinged question. I'm obsessed. Okay. How do you handle dating multiple men at once?
I'm gonna put more
without them knowing specifically about each other, like not being exclusive, but they don't need to know what I'm up to or who I'm with every day. Never been in this place before after being married for 17 years and then in a relationship for 5, being single for a year or so, but just starting dating in the last few months. Treat yourself, girl.
Love this for you.
Treat yourself.
Okay, so first of all, like I'm also single, so this is kind of the way that I would approach it is I would say I'm in the process of
just adding to each other's drinks. You notice how we're just slowly adding more and more to each other's drinks when we're talking? I don't know what.
I'm trying to answer the question. So any person that I might be interested in, I would just let them know right off the hop, like I'm in the process of dating.
Yeah.
My end game is a relationship. And also like, I want to meet a bunch of people. I want to keep my energy open. And I'm the type of person who's just going to orbit towards the person or people that I have the most resonance with. So if that is us, then we'll continue to see probably a lot of each other. And I like to let the connection reveal itself. So I would also disclose that and be like, I like to take things slow. I want to get to know who someone is. I'm not in any rush to get into a relationship, but that's ultimately my end goal. And I'm going to be meeting, talking, connecting, seeing multiple people. My personal rule though, is if I'm sleeping with multiple people, that's when I disclose that information. I don't disclose like, and his name is Billy and he lives on 4th Street. Like we don't need that information.
Sounds hot.
But I would disclose that. I would say, listen, I have recently become sexually intimate with this one person and I'm open to exploring that with you too, but I want you to have all of the information so you can consent. I think that's really important. Like if we withhold those types of details, people can't consent properly. And that's where shit gets shady down the road. And that's where it's going to get dramatic and it's going to get messy. So you can do a lot of the preliminary work of preventing mess by just disclosing that up front and letting people choose if that's the thing for them. But I love this. I think women should date multiple men at a time. They're so fun.
Really? I have never. I am like the old school, like one.
I don't know.
I've never dated multiple people at once. It's like, I don't know. I just never have. It's never been my thing. But in your question, how do you handle dating multiple men at once without them knowing specifically about each other and not being exclusive if they don't? So when I read your question, Kelsey just answered it fucking perfectly. But what my curiosity lies in maybe doing some work around or questioning, like there feels like there's a piece of you potentially who's been caged in the past and that there might be some like energy to work in around that, because the fact that you don't want them to know each other, like number one, it sounds like you kind of like the element of thrill and the bad girl kind of like, I don't want them to know, like I've been caged in a relationship and I've been married. Don't tell me what to do and I don't want them knowing about each other. And you kind of want to like, to me there reads some energy around like being caught, the element of that not wanting to know about each other. So
it does make it hotter, when there's that element of like, ooh, we might get caught. Like, so I get that. And if that is there, then you just want to own it.
Yeah.
Like Christine's saying, like, just like own the fact like, ooh, I actually really like the tease. I like the mystery. I like the thrill of that, so that you can actually just hold it powerfully in your body and in your system.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah. Love this.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. I mean, like Christine said, like that's going to be for some people. It's not going to work for other people. So it's about finding what actually works for you.
Totally.
And like dating, I think there's a good distinction here too. Like dating is the process of going on dates. Dating is not a relationship. And that's how I can date multiple people at a time. Because it's not a level of exclusivity. It's not a relationship. But for a lot of women that I've worked with over the last 15 years, the second they start a conversation with someone that they like, mentally and emotionally, they've put themselves in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And so that's where they can get kind of fucked up along the way, because in their mind, they've been in a relationship for, 6 months. And in his mind, he's like, well, we were just dating.
Right. I was dating 10 other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? So dating is just a very social experience where you're getting to know people. And then you have to flush out, like, does your dating include having sex with them? And if so, there is a level of disclosure that needs to happen there in terms of allowing people to consent properly and making sure that you're taking care of your sexual health and their sexual health as well.
Listen to us.
I know, we should get drunk and coach all the time.
So good. Okay. Love. Okay. So why don't we hop into, thank you for the tequila recipe. 2 ounces of tequila. Well, we did way more than that. 1 ounce triple sec, way more. Okay. 1 ounce lime juice. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, we really fucked that. We fucked that big time.
How much lime juice
we did like 8,000 things with fucking lime juice. Okay.
That's why it was so tart.
Yeah. Oh, Amanda, that makes sense. Thank you. They all.
Well, yeah, because you're a fucking mega babe.
They all want to marry me right now.
Of course they do.
I do want to have fun for a bit, yes. And again, knowing that if you have that energy of like, I don't want you, I don't even want a relationship, sometimes that turns men on even more because they're not used to that. Usually women come and they're like, are we getting married? Like we get one day, just like, totally, choose me, me. And so if you come in with the energy of like, I don't even want to fucking, like, I don't want breakfast in the morning. I want to fuck you and get out. Yeah. That is going to drive them crazy because men are also like a lot of them are hunters. It's like they want to catch, they want it. So also knowing that the more you have that, likely the more men you're going to attract who are either a little more anxious, who have some shit to heal, or are,
they're like in it to win it. And that's great because then you can like have them compete for your love.
Sounds like a fucking Game of Thrones show or something.
I know.
Some fucking Hunger Games right there. I love that. Unhinged dating. Unhinged.
Yeah.
Well, that's this. I'm getting some ideas. Okay. Love it. Don't mind me. I'm just kind of braiding my hair.
Love
but
it.
Here, I fucking love this. Okay. So good.
Was there another question?
There was.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we just fucking get this one?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you protect your energy when you're around stressed out and negative people? I love my family so much, but it can be really challenging to be around them this time of year because of the intensity of our family's business and how that brings out some of their worst tendencies. Well, number one, Steph, you're already in the club, so you can get your butt to our mini training next Wednesday. We're going to be talking about literally this, how to create a holly jolly fucking holidays and actually have a great time with your family, because we co-create everything and we have so much power, and we're going to teach you how to do that. So we'll definitely dive into that. But
I get this because as someone who has experienced a lot of codependency in my family system, and also like extended family are fucking drama central. And like, we're talking like unhinged in a bad way.
Not sexy unhinged.
Not sexy unhinged. Not Club Unhinged vibes. Like, we're talking like every time they get together, it's like this explosion and blow up and drama. Like everything that's been building throughout the year just fucking explodes at the Christmas, dinner table. And it's a lot. And especially if you have been working on cultivating a mindset or a heart set of like, I'm focused on generating and creating, and they're like, everything is awful and nothing ever works. And so like, there's a lot of like mental gymnastics you will have to do. So that's part of it, is just accepting the fact that when you're around people like that, you will have to constantly be reframing in your own mind. You don't have to reframe it out loud and be like, actually, I'd like to provide you with a different way of seeing that. Because they're going to be like, get fucked, like, get out of here. But if you do that internally, that's going to help build your internal emotional and energetic boundary. And eventually you won't have to do that. And then take frequent breaks. So if you notice that you're approaching your edge, so I would, approach this Christmas like an experiment, and we'll talk about that in the mini training. But like, I want you to find your edges and like find your range of like, how much can I essentially take without like collapsing? and without kind of falling into the negativity or the spiraling, stressed out energy. And like, at what point do I notice that happens? And then I want you to like scale it back like 10 steps before. So like, that's when the boundary has to happen. So if you know that you can spend 6 hours with your family and that's when you hit that edge, then at 4 hours, that's when you take a break. That's when you're like, I gotta go for a walk, or I'm gonna go meditate, or I'm gonna go for a workout. So I want you to track it this holiday season so you have that information, and then we can construct your boundaries around that. But you're gonna have to be inconvenient. You're gonna have to put yourself first and, you know, risk upsetting someone's expectations of you in order to honor yourself. This is the good and bad news of boundaries.
And Steph, this would be a great question to bring Monday to the Club Unhinged coaching, the live coaching session. So we can definitely work this out with you and guide you through some of that for sure. But I love that. And also, I gave one of my clients a science experiment, and they were really struggling with their ex, and they're kind of like toxic family, and they have a joint child. And so I'm like, what if this is a fucking science experiment? Like, tell me exactly how it's going to go down if you just stay exactly who you are, they say how they are. And they were like, okay, well, this would happen, then this would happen, then this would happen. I'm like, yeah, it's like clockwork. It's super predictable. You know exactly the outcome. So I said, if you both show up and you dance, like if you show up to tango and you're always going to get the same result. So what if you go in with a really strong intention and curiosity, being like, you know what, I know what my mind is telling me it's going to be like. And again, if we believe it's to be true, we're going to show up and we're going to co-create a dynamic based on what we believe our family is going to show up as. And it's very likely, unless somebody radically changes, but we really want to remind you of the power that you have. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to go into this holiday season, I know that my mind wants to tell me that this is how it's going to go down. But again, what if I show up and I act a little bit differently? What if I show up with more curiosity? What if I show up with a little more acceptance of who they are and their lack of consciousness or whatever it is, or their lack of awareness? What if I could allow them to be stressed out without needing to change it? Because I know for me, I grew up wanting to change people's emotions, again, with morph into if they were in a bad mood, then I was in a bad mood, right? Really codependent. And so it's taken a lot of work, but I really get curious. And it's like, if I showed up and I allowed them to be angry or upset or negative, knowing that I can take breaks, knowing that I can go off and take a walk, like I'm going to do what I need to do to take care of myself and allow them to be who they are and do what they need to do, we also can co-create a new dynamic. And again, understanding that when we, again, have conversations or we're showing up at dinners or whatever it is, our energy is very powerful. So if you went in and you were like, okay, what would OG version of me do? What would usual Steph do? Okay, she'd walk in, she'd say this thing, she'd recluse, she would get angry, she'd get whatever it is, and then be like, what would 2.0 Steph me do? Okay, she might laugh at a joke when somebody made an offside joke. She might, allow them to be angry and just go take a little mini break, right? She might go and, scream go into her car and just fucking
have an orgasm in the bathroom.
Totally. Go get yourself off in the fucking bathroom.
For real.
Whatever it is, right? That can shift your energy fast. So
real fast.
So just knowing as well that, yes, there are absolutely practical things that you can do. And it's like, what if I treated this like a science experiment? What if 2024 was the year I saw how powerful I was in the holidays because I chose a different outcome, because I chose to show up in a different way? Because we can only get a certain outcome if we both do the dance. They're the way they are, we're the way we are, we get the same outcome. But it's incredible. And so anyways, I gave him this offering, and it was for a birthday party, and he messaged me and was like, holy fuck. I showed up differently. They didn't do their thing. I had a totally different outcome. It was amazing. The focus was only on my child, and it was like a whole different experience. You could see the excitement because of them realizing their power in the situation, that they're not a victim to the circumstances or the dynamic or other people's energy or moods or emotions. So that's really powerful when you're like, yeah, I can allow that to exist. I can allow that person to be fucking cranky, and I don't need to take it on. I don't need to fix it. I don't need to change them. I just need to take care of myself if I need a break. So that's what I'd say.
Love it.
All right.
So good.
So should we get into a little hawk-tooey fucking?
Yeah, let's. So why we wanted to talk about this is because she's in the news lately. She obviously like shot to fame with her viral interview. And then she kind of got swept up in like the supercharge of like rise to fame. Like this happened very quick. And then recently she released some crypto coin.
Talk to me. Talk to
I don't even know what it is. And it obviously like shot up. Lots of people bought it, and then people started dumping it really fast. So she's being accused of insider trading. And really, it's not her, but it's her team that's around her. And then we have Taylor Swift.
Well, can we just talk about the fact that Tuah girl has a team? Like, this is what we also were like talking about. The fact that like after she had that viral video on TikTok, whatever it was. And again, I might be completely fucking wrong here. My facts might be horrendous, but from my memory, I'm just gonna say that out loud for any of the
fake news over here.
For any of the this might be totally fake news. But I remember after it came out, people were like talking about how like all of a sudden she went from like, walking the streets of New Orleans or whatever it was, being interviewed on TikTok or whatever the fucking platform was, to now having a team. She's going on a podcast, going on live interviews, being flown around. Like somebody can be living a completely different existence, and the next day something goes viral, and all of a sudden they have an insane amount of power. They have an insane amount of like resources around them. And where we got curious was like, when you don't have the power anchored, the solidity, the foundation, that's when shit can go fucking rogue. That's when shit can go south, because you see this a lot with people. People shoot to fame, again, with social media, or with like athletes or actresses or whatever it is. You see people kind of go from all of a sudden from here to here, and then you see a lot of fucking, they're in rehab, they're in shadow, they don't know how to handle the power, they're blowing their money out, they've gone from having millions of dollars to being, bankrupt and in fucking jail. So we were getting curious around that, how again she went from like one day she's doing that and she's working in a factory, where the fuck she is, and then she's got a team traveling the world, and then this crypto thing. We were heading on a podcast, Kelsey's like, yeah, she's going to go to jail. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And so we just started ripping on this, and and then Taylor Swift. So
well, and Taylor Swift is kind of the opposite of this experience. So Taylor Swift has been like the slow and steady, kind of wins the race sort of energy, and she's been cultivating her power very, very intentionally over decades. So she was introduced obviously into the music industry at a young age, but she's been really smart, and maybe this is her parents' influence as well, but the people that they kept around her, they were very, very intentional of who had access to her and who would be kind of tapped into the Taylor Swift empire. Whereas with, what's her name? Tuah girl. I think her name's Haley.
Google.
I think. Yeah, check it out. I think it's Haley.
We should probably have these facts in our podcast, but well, we just didn't have time.
Classic us.
Talk to a girl. Haley Welsh.
Yeah. Haley.
Okay. Yeah.
And so because Haley was living a very, very different life, and like, I don't think she was expecting to get famous. Like, this is one of those things, you're drunk at the bar, some rando is like putting a mic in your face and asking you a ridiculous question, and you say something and it pops off and goes viral, and all of a sudden your life is totally different. So she didn't have that experience of being able to slow and steady kind of build herself and build her own relationship to power, her own relationship to fame, because fame can be a very enticing, shadowy experience. Like, it's not that fame and money makes people dark, it's that fame and money amplifies what's already there. And so if someone hasn't done that integration work, if they haven't done that self-exploration, if they haven't done their own reclamation of power, the second they get a taste of that, it's going to shoot them off at like viral speed, but also their foundation isn't solid. Whereas you have Taylor Swift, who just came off of a 2-year tour, like the Eras tour. This woman did, I forget how many shows she did, like close to 200, I think, maybe more, and knocked it out of the park. We're talking like 60 to 70,000 people in a stadium every night. Like the biggest grossing tour of all time. Of all time. Like this is so fucking rad, and I love that it's a woman that did this. Like it's chef's kiss.
Yeah. she's had contrast. She's had people hate her. I don't even really listen to her music. Like I'm not even like a Swiftie. I've never been to a show. I don't actually even follow. I mean, I love her. I think she's incredible, but I'm more neutral. I'm like, cool. I'm more house music. Like take me to Vegas, take me to a fucking DJ, Calvin Harris, whatever. Like
she wants to go rave.
I just want to fucking go rave. So I mean, like but I respect what she's built and the amount. I mean, the ticket sales, the things they were going for, like it was like single ticket $7,000. I'm like, holy fuck, like that's, you know, and everyone's like, we have such a lack mentality as a collective. It's like, we have no money. And then you fucking Taylor Swift comes to town. Oh, you just found $14,000 under your bed. So this just shows us that we are extremely resourceful and we will find the resources for the things that we actually want to do and that we value. Right. So again, and the bracelets and the whole thing, like, I mean, Vancouver turned into fucking Taylortown.
Oh yeah.
It was like insane. Like everywhere you go. And I'm like, that kind of power is fucking awesome. And she hasn't had a easy ride, right? She's had, look at Kanye, the fucking thing. Like she's had so many things, so many knockdowns, so many fucking crazy things happen to her. And she gets back up and she's like, get fucked. I'm going to show you, like,
gonna make music.
The best revenge is making billions, bitch. Like that is the fucking like, bam.
For true. For true. Like, and so to me, Taylor is such an example of embodied power. Like she's an alchemist through and through. Whereas we have Hailey, who maybe could become an alchemist if she had the right people around her. But given how fast this all happened,
we're so judgmental. We have no fucking idea who's around. We're like, yeah, she only had that.
Well, like, but we don't know who's around her, but we know the people that were around her were people who were giving her bad advice. When you end up in a crypto scandal, that's a byproduct of the team that is giving you advice, the people that are around you. And because she didn't know herself and she didn't know that world, like maybe she knew herself a bit, but like she didn't know that world. So she's stepping into a world that is unfamiliar to her. And then the people around her see her as a cash cow. This is the thing. Like they see her and they're like, ooh, we could make a lot of money off of this person. And so of course, like, and crypto is so unregulated that when something like this happens and there's like a shoot up and then, you know, a lot of people are dumping it, like that's going to get flagged really fucking fast. And because she's the face of it, she's the one who the SEC is going after, not the people who are giving her this really shitty advice and who are not really supporting her in building an empire. Like it looked like the illusion of an empire versus Taylor Swift, who's actually built an empire. And the actual empire has been slow and steady. It has been very intentional. Like her circle is small. Like her team is not massive. She's got a very core team around her that have stayed consistent through the years, through the decades. And so I think it's a really important invitation for all of us to continue to do the work to get in touch with the truth of who we are. Because when you know who you are and what you stand for, you can't get fucked around. The same way that if you don't know who you are and you're insecure and you're like, I just want to be loved, then fame is going to be that thing that comes in, or money, or the relationship. And you're like, okay, I'm finally getting the thing that I'm depleted in, but I have no idea who I am. And then your world gets rocked. Whether it's a Tuah scandal or whether it's, you know, the fuck boy who doesn't care about your feelings and is dating 25 other women and not telling you about them. And like, it doesn't matter what the scandal is, there will be a scandal, and it will be very hard to alchemize that when we are not anchored in the truth of who we are. So this is why we wanted to talk about it today, because being anchored is obviously a big thing that we do in the club.
Yeah.
Anchored in your power, and like you having right relationship with your power, right relationship with your woman, right relationship with the truth of who you are.
Take me to church, Kelsey Grant. Take me to fucking church.
Tequila church.
Tequila church. Totally. Hallelujah. But I mean, it's so good. It's so good. And I think that is That really is it. We want to find our power not from circumstances. We want to build the foundation. So again, the invitation is if you're going through something crazy right now, you're having contrast, you're having shit hit the fan, you're getting beat down, hallelujah, because I just had this conversation today. Actually, I was walking the seawall with the guy I'm dating, and I was like, saying to him, I was like, you know what? We're doing Tequila Talks today. And I said, there's going to be people like who fucking hate us. Like, I know once this goes on YouTube, we have our video, people are like, oh, that's not really these bitches. And the only reason we can hold that being misunderstood or whatever it is projected on is because, you know, I was saying the other day about, you know, I was telling a story about how he's like, you got so many fucking crazy stories. I was like, I know, but it's like the universe being like, I'm preparing you for something. Yes. So I have the attitude of not, rather than like, why me? It's like, what is this preparing me for? Right? So when we go through shit, we go through hard shit in our life or contrast or things we don't want, it really gives us grit, resilience, like so much power so that when shit doesn't defend, like I was like, if somebody came on and tried to cancel us, I'm like, it wouldn't even fucking bother me because cheers. I'd be like, bitch, you know what? Fucking a couple years ago, I was like with my kids trying to do Christmas alone. Like I had a fucking crazy flood at the studio, water's pouring out, it's Christmas Eve, partners fucking not there, like in rehab, like it's like, it was like, you can't, I'm not phased. Yeah. I'm just unfazed. Unfuckable, because it just, you know, when you have that and you have that imprint of getting through something hard, it just makes life moving forward so much easier. It makes stepping into your purpose and showing yourself and being visible and putting yourself out there and being in your magic, it just makes it so much fucking easier. So it's like looking at, what if the shit you're going through was like the best fucking training, Jedi training for you to step into your purpose, to be the most like out loud expression of you, to really step into your magic and to have a fucking voice and opinion.
Take me to church, Bannon.
I fucking will. Take me to church. Yes. So,
but I love this because when we have that solid foundation in ourselves, like you say, like when shit happens, we're not clocking that as evidence against ourselves. We're seeing it as grist for the mill. We're seeing it as like, oh yeah, I'm getting my Jedi training. Like this is the fucking dojo. I am getting my training in. I must be getting prepared for something extraordinary if this level of fuckery is happening. Like being someone who has a larger following on Instagram, like there's no way I could have gotten to that point without being able to hold being disliked. The amount of people who have like slung shit in my direction over the last decade, I've lost count. Like that TED Talk where we first connected, that was like the first initiation, because when that went on YouTube, the comments on that are atrocious. Like the most vile, disgusting things you could ever imagine.
Like
reading.
what? Like what kind of shit?
Like you should fucking die. Like you don't deserve to live. You are a horrible person. How dare you mislead people? You have no business teaching love and relationships. Like people like you should just fucking die. Like the amount of people that were like, you should die. It was like, YouTube is again, very unhinged in not a good way.
Oh, I can't wait to see the comments on this.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get our popcorn out. But like when it first happened, that was my first experience. And because that talk was so vulnerable for me, because I had literally just like filleted my experience out in the open. It was very tender. I wasn't fully all the way through and like anchored in that. So when those comments happened, it blew me out. I couldn't go on YouTube for years. Like I wouldn't even watch a video on YouTube. I was so triggered and like so dysregulated. And then eventually I like did some exposure therapy, and like I would spend some time like going through the comments and being like, okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. These people are fucking idiots and don't know what they're talking about. Like it's a 15 or 20 minute TED Talk. Like you can't cover every single nuance in a 15-minute TED Talk. But again, like people on the internet have very insane expectations while they're literally in their fucking mom's basement.
They're in granny's basement fucking jerking off.
Yeah.
Keyboard fucking like,
haven't showered in 2 weeks.
You should be doing this. And it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. See the sirens in the background? That's the universe being like, yeah, fuck those people.
Yeah. Like, you're jerking off in grandma's basement and you're sitting there being like, you should do this. And it's like, well, what are you doing? How about you stop focusing on me and go and fucking do something yourself?
100%. And it's always those people who are the most vocal. And you got to remember that. Like, the people who are most vocal and most critical of what you're up to are the people who aren't doing shit. Because the people who are in the ring, they're not criticizing you for being in the ring.
No. They're getting beat up too. They're like, fuck, this is nuts.
We fucking know. And like, the people who are actually playing big in their lives, those are going to be your biggest champions and cheerleaders, because they know what it takes to stay in the fucking game. But it's the ones who are in the sidelines, who are probably never going to get in the game of their own life. Those are the ones who are the loudest and most repulsive, and like, they have a lot of shadow material. So like, that was my first kind of introduction. And then as I started to get more and more vocal on my Instagram, and this was actually thanks to my last partner, my last relationship.
I thought you were gonna say me. I was totally teeing that up and being like, you're so welcome. No, that was not me. Okay, never mind.
No, it wasn't
Christine.
We weren't in the pocket yet, but like, there will be a chapter that you are absolutely, you know, the springboard for. But he was really unhinged when we met, and like, has no filter. And I had gone through like my relationship with this guy that had cheated multiple times, and like, I had really been rocked by that. And so my confidence was a little shaky. And he comes in and he's not part of that group of people. So he's coming in fresh from the outside, and he's like, this situation's fucked. He's like, nothing about this is okay. And like, I can't believe all of your friends sided with him and like became better friends with him after he did this to you. Like, that shit's so fucked up. And he's like, you need to talk about this. And I was like, ah! Like, it was so intense to even consider the possibility of telling my side of the story. Because once that happened, I was like, I went into a trauma response. I've been protecting him and his image, and also like afraid of him like coming after me. And like, there was a lot that was going on there. And my partner at the time was like, fuck that guy. Like, he's such a piece of shit. Like, fuck that dude. And like, you need to speak your truth, and like, you need to use your voice. And so being in a relationship with him for 2.5 years was just so healing for me. Because he didn't have a problem using his voice. He didn't have a problem calling people out. He didn't have a problem like just saying like, oh yeah, here's my shadow on display. Like, I don't fucking care. And so I learned so much from him in that regard. And that's when I started getting more edgy with my content and saying these things that were true for me that I knew would inflame certain people in my audience. And so from like 2017 to about 2020 was like this next phase of integration and like really getting initiated into being disliked on the internet. And so like, I got really good, you know, kind of pushing back and like standing my ground, and like the block button was like my favorite thing. And then I had a mentor a couple of years ago too, and she's fierce as fuck. And I learned a lot from her as well, in terms of like, I don't take shit from people. So now when people come into my space and they want to fucking take a shit in my living room, I'm like, beat it, get the fuck out. Like, no, I don't have time to like dialogue with you. I'm not interested in like, again, like laying myself down so you can stab me to death with your projections. Like, no thanks. Like, get out. I don't fucking care. And like, that type of attitude, and again, it's only with a certain type of person that edginess will come out, but you have to have access to that to be able to defend yourself, because sometimes you do have to defend yourself. It's not about just like playing nice and like, I'm going to reframe this till the fucking cows come home. Like sometimes you have to push back and be like, get the fuck out of here. You're done. And that's part of like reclaiming your power. And especially if you want to be visible, if you have a business, if you are an artist, like you got to get good at holding people's dislike of who you are or your art and not letting it make meaning around who you actually are as a person or an artist or a creative.
Backing yourself. Backing yourself and your talent for sure.
Yeah.
Damn. I told Kelsey, I'm like, fucking, like, she's got like 100,000 followers on Instagram. I have like 3,000. I'm at the point where I'm like, Lord help me when I do, if I do, my following does grow, because the comments, if people fuck with me, it's just, I told her, it's just gonna be, the only way I'm responding is emojis and GIFs. That's it. There'll be no, like, if somebody was like, you're a fucking idiot, I'd be like, I would just, you know, eggplant and a halo and whatever else. I would just be like, wee! Totally. It would just be like the dead sign with an eggplant, and they'd be like, what? Like, how do you fuck with somebody? I'm like, that's gonna be my MO.
You're unfuckable with.
Yeah, I just don't care. I'm like, do you know the shit I've seen in my life and the shit I've been through? We'll go into, that's another Tequila Talks for another day.
Oh yeah.
We'll go into the raw, unfiltered fuckery that got us to where we are. So we want to hear from you. Where are you at? What are you loving? And what do you want? Does anyone want like a little, little coaching? Does anyone want a little question? Does anyone have anything they want to say? Does anyone want Kelsey to take a shot of tequila?
No, I have to drive.
Okay, fine. Let us know. Let's see. That's where I've been in this year.
Not anchored and tendered. Yeah. Melissa, I feel you. Feel you. Yeah.
Oh, Steph, I didn't know anything about Haley. I just Googled her and she only became famous a few months ago. It's crazy how quickly she blew up and then how fast things imploded. Yeah. That's what I mean, right? It's so true.
Well, and that happens too when people win the lottery. That happens fast, right? And so they go from having no money to having all of this money, and then they don't know how to hold it. We've been talking about holding in the club a lot lately.
Holding money too, like
holding
how
the frequency of that
blows out your nervous. Like we would talk a lot in the club. We talk a lot about the nervous system, holding things from a deep foundational level. Because if your identity and your nervous system can't handle good things, money, good relationships, love, it's like no matter how much you're like, I want to manifest that money or I want to manifest that man. If your nervous system is in opposition of that, you're fucking rolling a rock uphill. Like, we're gonna get cock blocked, which is again what we talk a lot about. But okay.
I'd love to learn more about you guys on a personal level. Oh, okay. What are some of your favorite hobbies and things you love that really light you up? The first thing that came to my mind is like one of my favorite things to do is literally masturbate and have orgasms. I love it. It's so fun.
She does. There'll be times I'm like, I'll be calling her and she like won't answer. I'm like, I know she's jerking off right now. 100%. Like it's like important business question. I'm like, no, she's totally fucking sent me to voicemail. 100%. She's jerking off.
Listen, this is how we stay in the vortex.
I have some random facts. I love great white sharks. I'm obsessed. I have like a really weird like obsession and fear. So like I want it, like when I watch it, I'm like, this is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. But I'm like obsessed with it. I love going for like nature, being out in nature. I love the ocean. I'm obsessed with the ocean. But I can't swim in dark water. Like I fucking hate it. I recently let her drink Costa Rica. Lake, fuck no. And I mean, I can swim in it, but I'm like, I'm getting my ass off the shore.
Not in like the middle of the lake.
I can swim in like clear water.
Okay.
Yeah. But like dark water fucking freaks. I don't want an octopus coming up and fucking grabbing my leg.
In a lake?
No, in the ocean. But like, I don't need that fucking shit. I don't need fucking prawn. I don't need any of that shit. I want to see where my fucking feet are.
Oh, fair.
So, that's another random thing.
What are you afraid of?
What am I afraid of?
Like what's a fear you have?
The biggest fear, when you just ask it, the biggest fear is like not actualizing my purpose, like what I'm here for. That was like the first thing that came in, is like I had a really big story around like I'm never gonna figure it out, or I'm never gonna get it, and then I realized again about the nervous system, where I was like, oh, anytime I have momentum going in my business or in my life or good things are happening, my nervous system has such a blueprint around good things equal loss. So I had to do a lot of work around letting myself expand, make more money, have more love, have great friendships, like all the things, because that kind of shit would blow me out because I was so used to chaos, bad things happening, toxic relationships, that was my like familiar hell, but it was also my nervous system's like baseline. It was my thermostat of like comfort and what was normal to me. So my biggest fear, I think, was, it's not really anymore because we're on this trajectory and this all feels really aligned, but for a long time it was like, I'm never going to figure it out. I'm never going to actualize my purpose. I'll never make the impact I want to make and touch the people I want to make. So yeah.
I'm afraid of heights.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go skydiving?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really don't like heights at all. Like they really freak me out.
Yeah.
Like being close to a ledge.
Yeah,
like,
actually I don't like that.
Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm very creative. So like a lot of my hobbies center around any creative pursuit. So I love writing music. That's probably like the biggest hobby or like thing that I do outside of work. And I also love painting. I'm also very ADHD, so I will hyperfixate on a new hobby and like go into it and then like just drop it and not be into it anymore. I have this project that's been like an ongoing like 4-year project where I found this bottle of wine. It has this rose as the base. It looks like a rose. So I'm like, oh, you know what would be great if I turned these bottles into glasses, like glassware. So it's been like this process of collecting all these bottles over the last 4 years. And then my dad got me like all the glass cutting stuff and like,
I didn't know any of this shit about you. Fuck. So you want my best friend? What is happening right now?
So I have this project of making glasses and there's like, I think 3 or 4 different sizes of the bottles. So like I can have little cups and the medium ones and then the big ones. And so that is, I don't know why I like fixate on certain things, but I do. I also just really love watching TV. I know that's like really maybe basic, but like I love a good mini series. I prefer like a mini series over a movie. And I can like really get into the world of it, like an 8-part mini series. British TV is like my favorite thing. I'm obsessed. I love it.
Do you have any unhinged questions you want to ask us? I mean, why not? If there's anything fucking off the rails, a little off the rails, we're happy to answer it. We're pretty open book here. So, I mean, this could be horrendous for us down the road. I mean, who knows? But I mean,
listen, we already decided we can't be canceled.
Oh, right. We decided that. If there's anything else.
Speaking of shitty comments about Taylor, when I look back and I think of how unfair the media has been to her, oh, for sure. Like the media has raked her through the coals. And that's what we're talking about. Like it's those experiences that refine you. Those were her initiations. Like the media has been atrocious to her. And yet she's like eating it for breakfast. She's like, bitch, watch me. And I'm going to turn that into a best-selling album or the biggest grossing tour of all time. Like I don't care. And I think we could all be a little more like Taylor, you know, and use these experiences and either alchemize them into art or alchemize them into your purpose and like your fierceness and what you're here to weave into the fabric of humanity. Like, love that.
You have any unhinged questions? Hold on. Maybe I should make enough glasses.
Oh, Steph, that's such a good idea.
And we can have a drink out of your fancy crafted glasses.
Yes. Okay, so basically we're becoming alcoholics. Okay, but you know what we'll do? We'll make this a little club project where I'll tell you the brand of the wine, and if y'all like rosé, then you can get a bottle yourself and then send me your empty bottles. And then
Kelsey, you do not have time for this.
You'd be surprised how much time I have.
I don't think after tequila, we're gonna be building 2025 is filled with fucking crazy travel and
oh my god, your most unhinged drunk on tequila story from your past. Oh, okay. So this is so interesting you asked this because this guy from my past popped into my head because I got woken up at like 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and 6 a.m. last night. And on one of the wake ups, he was in my field. I'm like, that's weird. I haven't thought about Joe in fucking decades. But now that you ask this question, makes perfect sense because he's the unhinged story.
Oh my God.
So I was working at a bar, and I was bartender, and we finished our shift, and I was sleeping with this guy named Joe, and
last name? I'm sure.
I actually don't know. I don't know his last name.
Was his name actually Joe?
Yeah, his name was actually Joe, but I don't remember. I don't know if I actually knew his last name because he was literally just a fuck friend. Like we never dated, like we never went on a date, we just fucked.
Was he good in bed?
Yes.
Very
good.
Like out of 10.
I'd give him like an 8.8.
What could have been better?
Like
I was fire rapping.
Probably just more sex.
Okay.
And maybe because we had a lot of drunk sex, I would have liked to experience maybe a little bit of sober sex to compare it. So maybe that would have taken it to 10, or maybe it would have taken it to a 5. I don't know. But after we finished our shift, his best friend Brian worked with me, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call Joe and like let's
Sounds
go."
like a 3-way.
Well, it could have been, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Because I wasn't into Brian.
Okay.
And so he's like, "Let's go to my place and let's party." I'm like, "Sign me up."
Again, that sounds like a 3-way.
So we go to Brian's, and we have a 40 of tequila. And there is like me, Brian, Joe, and a couple other people that I didn't know, but like they're not important. And so we're literally just shooting tequila into the early hours of the morning. And then at one point I'm like, okay, it's time to fuck. So let's go have sex. So we go to our room, we start having sex, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta stop." I'm like, okay. And he like runs over, opens the closet, and in the closet there's a washer and dryer.
Okay. What the fuck? Okay. I'm sticking with you right now, but I don't know what the fuck is happening. This all sounds like it's leading to a 3-way. Every time you say something like we have a bottle of tequila, we have 2 men. I'm like, okay, so it's really fun.
And like I'm on the bed, so I'm not really paying attention to what he's doing over at the washer dryer, but like he goes and like hangs out in the closet for a second. Comes back, we continue having sex, and then I wake up a few hours later and I have to go to work. So I have to go back to work for a morning shift. And I'm still drunk. I'm not proud of this, but I drove myself to work. And I get there, and my boss, she was one of my best friends. I dated her brother a few years before that.
Shocker.
And she was like, "You were drunk." She's like, "I can literally smell the tequila on you. You need to go home." And so I find out later that day, Brian texts me. He's like, "Yo, did you throw up in the dryer?"
No.
I'm like, "No." I'm like, I can hold my liquor. Like this was like one of my claims to fame in my party days is like how much I could drink without getting sick. And I'm like, no, I know my limit. I play within it. Yeah, I was wasted, but like not to the point where I'm getting sick because I don't like throwing up. I don't like that feeling. Turns out Joe stopped fucking me, ran over to the closet, puked in the dryer, not even the washer, the dryer, and then came back and we continued to have sex. But like we weren't kissing. I think we must have been doing it from behind or something.
Jesus.
Or I was just that wasted and I didn't notice.
Oh, it tastes like sour balls. Yummy.
So that would be my most unhinged tequila fueled story.
Ooh.
Joe. Blondie Joe.
I'm trying to think of my tequila. I mean, I feel like I've had quite a few, but I think it would be probably at least over a decade ago. I was in Mexico for a wedding, friend's wedding. They're no longer married. And shocker. And I got super fucking wasted off margaritas and tequila. I went into the ocean and had a photo shoot, topless photo shoot with this girl who I barely knew. Don't, again, like you look back at the photos, I'm like, oh my God, like just like fucking I'm like, what is happening? Like what, we're just fucking in the beach, topless. So we have a topless photo shoot, and then it turns into continually drinking in the pool, which turns into us getting kicked out, which turns into us okay, so you guys, I am so drunk. I am army crawling in a resort on the ground. So at this point I have no top. I think I was naked. I must have been like naked or maybe bottoms on. I am on the ground. These workers come around the corner. I'm on the ground. I don't need to army crawl. There's no reason. I'm down on the ground in like a plank, and I'm like doing this, and I'm fucking no top on. I think I'm wearing a purse with either nothing or underwear on, and I'm army crawling like this, and these workers come around the corner, and my friends are fucking dying. They look at, like, these workers look at me and they're like, what the fuck is this chick doing? I'm like, as if I'm in a special ops fucking thing. I'm down on the ground, army crawling along the resort. And then I got up, they took a photo of me, not the workers, my friends, I'm pretty sure they like blackmailed me. And then we went out that night to Coco Bongo. After that, and I got in a fight with a girl in a cab, and then I tried to coat check the goat, the stuffed goat that I had bought, that I'm pretty sure was filled with drugs. Don't know, but it was, I tried to bring it into Coco Bongo, and they tried to make me buy a wrist bracelet. The wrist bracelet's like $90 US. They're like, no, you need to pay for the goat.
The stuffy.
You need to pay for the stuffy. And I was like, I'm not fucking paying $90 for this goat. And they were like, well, then you need to go check it. And I was like, I'm not go checking this goat. Anyways, it turned into a whole fucking thing. I got kicked out of Coco Bongo. I think that's all to end the story there. But so Thomas photo shoot, army crawling, Coco Bongo. Don't know where the goat is. No idea. They would
drug-filled goat.
The ladies wouldn't even let me buy the goat. Like I was at you know those markets, like the night markets. I think we're in like Playa Apartment, and I was like, I want to buy the goat. She's like, it's not for sale. I was like, the goat's for sale. Everything's for sale. Full blown fight with her too. So I finally,
everything's for sale. There's a price for everything.
Finally get the goat, bring it out. I was like, I'm not paying $90 for this goat. The goat's not drinking. Goat's already drugged up, I'm sure. So like, we don't need, we're partying. We don't need this. Anyway, this is a long time ago.
Just last year.
2023, November.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. This is like at least 12, 15 years. That's probably 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, I think we'll just
great question
before I get thrown into jail. Let's see.
Let's see what we got here.
Let's see.
Last question.
What does it mean when you're dating someone and you're both really vibing and connecting, but when you have sex, he always comes too fast? Like that's the pattern for months and months. Well, number one, that just tells me you're so fucking immaculate and so hot. He can't hold his fucking jizz in it because he's just like, I just need to blow it. You're the hottest thing on the planet. That would be my answer. You have a better answer than that.
Well, it's true, and it has a lot to do with his holding capacity energetically. So like he's unable to hold sensation in his body and hold pleasure sensation in his body. So a lot of the times we can take that personally and like we can either make it mean like, oh yeah, I'm so hot, like he comes so fast, which yeah, true. And also there can be like the collapse that happens of like, well, I'm actually not getting the full range of my pleasure here. Like I would like it to last a little bit longer than 30 seconds. That'd be great. And so part of that is his journey through like his own relationship to holding. Now, when men have any sort of addiction to porn, that is going to impact their ability to hold sensation in person. So like there could be something like that going on. It also just could be someone who's just really dysregulated and needs to work on his nervous system so that he can hold more sensation in his body in general. And then, you know, talk about like, maybe there are different positions or different ways to explore sexually that will help expand his ability to last a little bit longer. Like it's going to be a practice. So like, it's something that you guys can take on together as a team. And I think if you approach it as a team, not a me against you, or there's something wrong or bad about you, because he's already going to have a fuck ton of shame about not being able to last very long. So sometimes it's literally just the shame that you're up against. And if you can help alchemize that through just your own approval of like, I love having sex with you. This feels so good. And I want to explore like how we can, make this last a little bit longer. But like, if it doesn't, like, you're not bad. Like there's not anything wrong with you, but like, we need to address the fact that, we'd like it to last a little bit longer. It's not, and this is something that a lot of couples actually deal with a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so if there's like a break in intimacy too, so you want to build intimacy in other areas and components of your relationship, which is going to help build the trust and the foundation to explore this on a sexual level, just because there's often a lot of shame that's been coded and collected over decades of being a sexually active adult.
Slow her down,
just have him go down on you and, use his mouth.
Yeah. It could be a great opportunity as well to ask for more as well, is to have that like receivership of allow yourself to, I know for me for a long time in my early days of sex, it was around like just help, like having them get off. I really didn't give a fuck about my own pleasure or anything like that. So it could be like a practice in slowing down and milking things. And
yeah. She Comes First. Great book. Also great philosophy.
Love this.
So like before he ever even gets to enter you, you've had an orgasm.
Treat yourself.
And so that will also help him like build more sensation and build his tolerance to hold sensation in his body and have him be in that pocket of being of service. And it will help over time, but you could do a little book study with each other, or if you just read that book, he reads that book. And important that you have an orgasm before he even enters you. And that's gonna also just transform your experience of the physical intimacy and, the physical act of penetration. Yeah.
Or, just dump him and find somebody else. I'm joking. That's the unhinged answer.
Yeah, that's majorly
We should
unhinged.
totally do another segment where we do Tequila Talks, and it's like our professional opinion, where we're like like in our embodied power, and then we have our off the fucking rails answer. We have our like the two. We have like the shadow projector psychopath answer. Totally off the rails, and then we have our
I'm into it.
If you're down for that, we could definitely do that.
Yeah,
have like the
sounds like the next segment.
The shadow and light. Here's our get fucked answer, and here's our practical answer.
All right, well, I think we need to wrap it there. We've been going for an hour and a half. This seems like seconds.
I feel like I could go for hours.
Same.
It's so fun. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. If you want to pop in the chat, anything that you're taking away, if you would join us again. Do you love this? Do you hate it? Would you join us again? Tell us. We want to know.
What are you leaving here with today?
Yeah, what are you leaving with today? We're, we just love this. It's so fun. We create what we create what we would want. Like our whole thing, we created the club because it's the work that we did to fucking heal and transform ourselves.
Yeah. At a 1-year-old's birthday party.
Totally. Thanks, Mark Rose. Thanks Mark guys. Rose. I always feel such joy being in your authentic presence. Oh, we love you, Steph. Loved it. Had dog interruptions, but have some interesting things to think about now.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
So good. So good. We appreciate you guys so much. You just keep it coming. We just love you. This is gonna be one of many. We're gonna look at doing this once a month. The idea is to take this live. I mean, to be in person with you. And I mean, how fun would it be to do Tequila Talks in person and then go to the club after and fucking party? I mean, come on. The VIP champagne showers. I mean, what? Tequila showers? I mean, no. Tequila showers would be like an after dark. It would be like
after hours.
Tequila Talks, and it'd be like champagne showers.
When we're really wasted.
Thank you. I definitely vote
the unhinged answers.
Over the unhinged answers as well as professional advice. Next time I'll have tequila ready.
Yes, girl. Yes.
So
love it.
Good. Leaving here with, it's really nice to have a space to get to know you a little bit better. It feels like friendship time more than mentee time. We love you, and we love having you in the club. You're such a fucking rock star. All the best. Thank you. You guys are the best. We so appreciate you and joining us and taking the time. It's so fun. We're going to put this on YouTube. We're going to be creating a presence on YouTube so that we can get unhinged comments, and then I can just do a bunch of gifts.
She'll be fielding those.
I'll be fielding those. I can't wait. Yeah, we're building this segment out. We want to do this once a month and take it live across America, Canada, is it Canadian?
Yeah, the 3 Canadian cities that might have enough viewership, but definitely in America. And we love you all. Thank you for being here today. And we wish you a very happy holiday season. If you want to join us for the mini training, we'd love to have you. If you're already in the club, well, we'll see you there. And we'll be back next month for another unhinged segment.
Bring your friends.
Bring your friends.
I think the next time we do this, we're going to do the professional coaching, and then we'll do the off the rails answer.
Yeah.
So
and we'll do it on a night where we don't have to go anywhere, so we can actually get lit.
Totally, we'll get super fucked up, and then the answers will be off the rails, and then we'll be like, do we delete this? Do we not delete it? Publish immediately. Totally.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap it there. Thank you all for being here. We love you. Merry happy Christmas holidays.
Merry fucking Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. And we'll see y'all in the new year.
May you have an unhinged holidays. This is gonna be coming out on Christmas Day, by the way, this recording. So treat yourself.
Merry
ho ho ho.
Bye, friends. See you soon.